Hello everyone. So after we configured all the necessary settings for our app and tested it, we would now need to configure the app.json file and start publishing the app in order to prepare for building it and distributing to the stores. So we will need first to adjust our app.json file. App.json file, you will find it here if you open the Visual Studio Code, you will find a file called app.json. This video will have some changes in the code itself. There are some trivial changes. No need still for code knowledge, but they will need some care because it's directly changing in the code itself. So I will start here explaining the variables that will need to be changed. First of all, the first type of variables is the one related to expo variables. As you see here, there is a key called expo. So you may need to change the name and slug to be shown to be fit for your website. This is my website's name, Boosttrend. You may have some other name. You may need to add it here. So whatever it is, can be this way, my website, and slug to be my dash website. This is mainly for Expo purpose. Expo has a published app where the app itself is published on their servers. We will get to this later when we publish the app. But these changes are mainly for Expo. These names will not be shown on the store. This is not the final app name. These settings are configured on Play Store and App Store dashboards. Not here. This is just for Expo itself. So it's not something which is very important, but you may need it. Next, you may change the icon itself. The icon, if you change the icons are located here as icon, not notification icon, not icon. This is related to the notification icon and the splash screen. The splash screen is the screen that appears once the app starts. When we started the app, there was a screen that covered the app. This is the splash screen, which is this one. If you want to change the icon and the splash screen, you will need to create the photos for your app and replace them with these pictures. The icon and splash screen should be in PNG format and when you have the same name in order to avoid changing the name app here. So they will just replace the app. So you can go to a tool like Canva, for example, and create an icon with these dimensions, 1024 pixels. After you download it, you should name the icon as icon.png, icon with the format of PNG. Same thing for the splash screen and for notification screen with the required dimensions. We can always check the documentation for app.json file here if you need further modification. This video will mainly focus on the notifications related to the app template RNWP plugin. As I will show its link in the description if someone wants to check it out. But if you need further, if you are using a separate template or a custom app, and you want to extend the configurations, you can check out the documentation for Expo here. I will leave also its link in the description. So we can now configure the icons and splash screen based on your preferences. You can create the photos and then replace them. So after configuring this icon and splash screen, you can also configure its color, the background color. It should contain the whole background, but just in case if there are some edges, you can configure the color so that it shall appear the way you like. Next, we will need to configure the iOS variables. The most important variable for iOS is the bundle identifier. If you go down and scroll down, and you will see an iOS key here. Inside you will find these variables. So in our case, this will be the variables we will need that we will need to modify. You can the bundle identifier. You can write it this way. This is the common syntax for writing the identifier. Maybe you can change this one to the name of your website. Maybe you can change this one to the name of your organization or your name, or as I configured it here, iOS. Just make sure to avoid spaces and avoid the special character. The bundle identifier is the one that we used before when we created the Firebase account, but this will be for Android, not for iOS. We will go to this next. We'll go to this later, but this is a very important one because you will need it when you build the website. This should be consistent with what you will provide in the Apple dashboard. The build number is the version itself. You can start with 1.0.0. Then the most common approach is that for minor modifications, you will change the last one. For major modifications, you will change the one in the middle, and for severe modifications, you will change this one. Make sure when we will get to this when we build the app, but for every build, this number should change. Otherwise, the App Store dashboard will refuse to upload your app. For Android, maybe we will need some more modifications. The first one is related to the package itself, same as the bundle, same as the bundle and the identifier. So you can change it this way, but you can add underscores here. Although I believe this is not preferred, but you can add underscores. Next, for the Google services, if you have a Firebase account, as I explained in the if you are enabling push notifications and have a Firebase account, then you will need to add this line. I have already added it before in the notifications video. You can go back and check it if you like. The version code, this is an integer that will be stepped by one for every build. So for the first build it's 1, the second build it will be 2, the third it will be 3, and etc. You may need to add another you may need to add another key for the add mob. I have already shown here some some of the probabilities. So this is for an app using Firebase. This can be for an app using AdMob. So I will need to copy this to the end of the file. If you copied it, I'll copy it here. Just make sure you have a comma before. If you have some other configurations afterwards, then you should have a comma afterwards. Otherwise, it should be deleted in order for the file not to break. For the AdMob ID, you will need to go to the app settings and copy this ID. Just make sure it's that way, between brackets and the brackets. Don't go to the next line. So you will configure the add mob here. I have given here some of the probabilities, whether you have an add or not. This will be this case. If you have nothing at all, it can be this case. As you can see, you can add an underscore here. So this is for the app.json file. Now the app is ready for installation, for building, so I can also publish it. In order to publish the app, I will write expo publish in the terminal here. For sure, you can also do this. If the app was started, I have already quitted the app, so I will enter expo publish this way. Just while building, I wanted to highlight something here, which is related to Windows users. For Windows users, in order to start building the app, you will need to enable the Windows Subsystem Linux. This can be installed here from this from the link here. I will show it in the description, and then you will need to open the admin PowerShell in the start menu and run this command. This is important for Windows users in order to be able to build their app. For Linux and Mac users, this is not needed. Okay, well, I'm waiting for the publish to be built. It will take some time for the first time you will publish the app. Afterwards, it will be much easier. Publish will be also used afterwards to update the app. After submitting the apps to the App Store, this can the app can be updated directly here from the code itself. And when running expo publish, the user will need just to open and close the app 1 or 2 times, and the updates will appear. This is one of the main advantages of expo, is the update up-to-air updates. This is already configured the app.json, so if someone doesn't like this feature, he can disable it. And he can go back to the app.json file in order to check this point. I think it will be here. In the updates here. This will need some coding knowledge, so I will not go in deep for this here, but you can, this one, you can, there is a key here, you can add it this way, enabled, and set it to true or false. I believe the over-the-air updates is a nice feature, but it has some drawbacks, because there may sometimes be some bugs if the user is not connecting to the internet while the app is updated. And when the user downloads the app from the App Store and opens it for the first time, the updates will not be shown. It will not be shown unless he closes the app and reopens it again. So it may be a temporary update, but I believe the website owner should still republish the app to the stores in order to provide the best user experience for the users. Okay, just I wanted to highlight something before, is that in order to publish the app, you need an Expo account. Maybe I forgot this because I am the device is already recognizing my account, but you should sign up for an Expo account. It's for free. It's easy. I shall log in, and in order to see the app itself. So after publishing the app, you can see the apps I published before. By the way, anyone now can check out your app from an Android device through this project page, through this link. You can see it after the build. It looks that way. It has your account name and the slug we configured before here. So if you open the app here, anyone can scan if anyone who has the Expo app on Android can scan this QR code, and the app will be shown on his device. But this will not be the case in case of iOS. In case of iOS, the user should log in to Expo with the Expo with your Expo credentials. The one who built the app, the one who published the app, should give his username and password to the one who wants to test it, in order to open it from his iPhone mobile. So that's for this video. We will start building the app on Android and on iOS from the next videos. I hope everything is going well. If you have any issue, you can send it to me on the comments. And I hope if this really helped you, you can like the video or subscribe to my channel. And thanks for your listening.